Evening, everybody. Good morning, whatever you are. Greetings, Priyaji.
Good morning, Professor.
So, greetings to you and your family.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How's your father's health?
He's greatly improved. Thank you.
Very good. Wherever you are.
Yes, Priya, you can start.
Oh, hidden life, vibrant in every atom. Oh, hidden light, shining in every creature. Oh, hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the second edition of this youth program. The theme of today's panel discussion is truth, beauty, and goodness. Before we set the proceeding, my heartfelt gratitude to the President of the Indian section, Brother Pradeep Gohil, and to our program coordinator, Brother Pradeep Mahapatra, for giving me this opportunity to share and be with fellow aspirants to dwell upon the theme truth, beauty, and goodness. Today, we have amongst us 5 panelists. They are drawn from different walks of life. We have Brother Aditya Mathur. Aditya Mathur has done his BTech, Mechanical Engineering. He's in the final year. He's, I am told, interested in robotics and pursuing the same. He was introduced to Theosophy by his father. He joined the TS in 2014 as a member of Shankar Lodge, Delhi. Aditya is there. Okay. We have with us Brother Deepak Mutrija. He has over 26 years of industry experience, having worked in corporate firms like Honda, General Motors, Hyundai. He is currently serving as the Assistant Vice President in Suzuki Motorcycles, India. Academically, he has done his BTech in Mechanical Engineering and holds an MBA from IIM Calcutta. His hobbies include playing badminton, reading holy scriptures, and he was sharing that he had joined the ISKCON movement a few months back and also been attending the theosophical classes for the past few months. We have Brother Nirmesh Narware, who is basically from Ujjain. He is a professional in advertisement and is working at Bangalore. We have Ms. Shreeshyshi Oja. She holds an MA in ancient history from Allahabad University. Her hobbies include reading, writing, music, sketching, and swimming. And the last but not the least, Ms. Smitaprangya Patro. She's a member since 2006 and is well known to many people. She's the president of the Pythagoras Youth Lodge Bhubaneswar, attached to the Utkal Theosophical Federation. She holds a BTech in biomedical engineering and works as an application specialist for multinational firm at Hyderabad. She is also the editor of Sophia e-magazine for youth, and she's participated in programs at Adyar, Bawali, and Hyderabad. Besides, she also organizes 40 years program at Bhubaneswar and Bawali. She has been delivering philosophical talks at Federation conferences through online. So it is my great pleasure and privilege to welcome all of you to this panel discussion on truth, beauty, and goodness. The matter under discussion is going to be more of a exploratory and discussive manner. It is not going to be into a question answers mode. We are trying to look at facets of truth, beauty, and goodness, explore together and see if we can arrive at a deeper understanding than what we were earlier before. So with this background, we move on. The first question is, when we speak about truth, beauty, and goodness, what is it that is really beautiful? The question is, what is it that is really beautiful? This will be first addressed by Aditya, and if any of the other panelists have anything to add, we will take it on. Over to Aditya.
Thank you. Okay, so before we get into what is it that is really beautiful, I would like to touch upon what we think of beauty. So the ideas of beauty that we have really vary. So for one person, one thing may be beautiful, but for the other person, that same thing would not be beautiful. And like, let's say we take an example, like let's say we live in a very beautiful house and we have a big garden in front of it. So like we are aware of the beauty of the garden sometimes we find it like really intensely beautiful. Sometimes we find it vaguely beautiful, and at times we might find that it's a commonplace, or we're not so aware of the beauty that's around. So maybe not say that the beauty sort of lies hidden in what we can regard as a commonplace, because that same garden was beautiful to us before, and now it's not. And this same example can be applied anywhere. A common place to one person can be a thing of beauty to the other. So I think we can only see the beauty in even the commonest of the things only when we are open to that possibility of beauty. So yeah, so I think, like the saying goes, the beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. We need to build an eye to see that beauty in each and everything. And we can find that in the works of Krishnamurti when we read, like, he sees beauty in even the commonest or smallest of things that we see every day. So I think we need to find that eye, which will make it possible for us to see beauty in each and everything. And maybe that is what evolution or spiritual enlightenment is.
Anybody would like to add to this? If they have any comments to make? Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Aditya, yes, well said, Aditya. And when I was reading a couple of stuff on this topic, I found that basically truth, beauty, and goodness is something transcendental. These are things, something which an individual, when he disconnects from the material world, or when he has overwhelming materialism, and some point of time, some quest is there, and you have a sense of detachment. So then you start thinking of sub-subjects, because whatever we do in this material world is not going to give you happiness. Then you start seeking, what is the real truth? What is the real knowledge? What is the real goodness? What is the real beauty? So there's something transcendental, and since like ages, humankind have been trying to find out, basic three pillars. And I find beauty is something, yes, it lies in the eyes of the beholder, but something like I find beauty is something like real knowledge, being aware about yourself, who you are, what is the purpose, does God exist, to know the unknown, to seek something which is, not visible in our day-to-day life, who is driving us. And this is what I think, beauty is all about.
Okay, thank you.
And
Yes.
to me, beauty is, for example, if you start, if I am a soul, so who's my father? How do I have a right connect with him? So I'm able to connect with him. So I think it will be very, very beautiful for me to know the qualities of the eternal and how to start inculcating. I'll find that, if I get that knowledge, that will be beautiful for me.
Thank you, Deepak. Anyone else would like to say anything on this matter? Any comments? Fine. We move on to the next question. What is goodness? It goes to Brother Deepak.
So goodness, if we are free from sin, if we can make ourselves free from sin, and if you're able to provide happiness in our day-to-day life for us and others, I think that will be real goodness. If we are able to free ourselves from sin, so many unknown things we keep on doing. Goodness will be something, not just doing charity or something, but making myself free from any unknown sin which I'm doing.
If you were to speak about sin, what is sin?
Any wrongdoing, anything, lie, cheating, even a wrong thought about someone, according to me, is a sin. According to me, whatever limited knowledge I have, even a wrong thought, even a negative idea, even a negative intent, so that's a sin. For me, it's a sin.
So what would be goodness? Opposite of sin?
Opposite of sin. Make me free out of that sin.
So anybody else would like to add anything onto this? What would you feel is goodness? Yeah. We have addressed beauty as that which lies in the eye of the beholder to that which is transcendental. We have arrived at goodness, which is something called opposite of sin or beyond sin. Now, I will move this question of what is truth to Nirmesh.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you,
Hi.
ma'am, for giving me the chance. Am I clear to everyone?
Yes.
Just checking the mics.
Yes.
So I would like to answer this question maybe in a layman language because I may not be as knowledgeable the subject as my co-panelists. But I think truth is something which is very dynamic in nature, right? It's not linear. Like what Aditya also said, similar as beauty, truth is also different everyone. Like there could be empirical truth, there could be a priori truth. Now, a priori truth is something which can be defined as by science. Like any part of the world you go, a 2 plus 2 is always a 4, right? That's a truth. How we can define the sex with this, like male brothers are siblings, that's a priori knowledge. That's the ultimate truth. There could be empirical truth. Empirical truth is what usually defined by how we understand our perception, our own experience, how we grew up to understand our senses. For me, empirical truth could be that, okay, today is a cold weather and I feel cold, but somebody else might not feel it's a very cold day. They might feel hot on the same day, but both are right. There's no false over there. Both are truth. So evidence truth is according to me is different, is dynamic in nature, it's changed by each and every culture you go in the world. It's changed by, as long as the core is true, what you believe in yourself is true, that's the ultimate truth. I also feel that the definition truth has been changing from historical, changing from the Greek theosophy to the contemporary philosophy. The definition is constantly evolving. But I think sometimes seek the truth on the outside, but the ultimate truth, which Deepak are also talking about, is it lies in the inwards. As much as you know about yourself, that's the ultimate truth. That's the core idea of truth. And I also found one interesting study which I was reading about today, like how, I just want to give an example, like how sometimes when we, just take an example, when we watch a horror movie, right? And we all are a little bit scared watching a horror movie. And sometimes suddenly there's a knock at the door, or sometimes the light flickers. We all get a bit scared, like, okay, it's manifesting in real life. Sometimes you wake up with a bad feeling in your mind, right? Like, okay, today something bad might happen. And if that happens, we all try to connect them two together. Okay, I had a bad feeling in the morning, that's why I'm feeling bad right now. Now, this phenomena is defined by a lot of different people. Psychologists, they like to call it by calling it a concentrated focus. You constantly focusing on this morning, or you constantly focus on the horror movie. That's what this thing happened. It's just focus. It's the mind is playing games. Mystics who believe in mysticism, they like to call it science. These are the science from the different dimension which we are not capable of understanding. And how skeptics like to call it, they call it by coincidence. It's just a mere coincidence, nothing else. But all three are the truths. These are ultimate truths, right? Some people believe in something, as long as you're true to yourself, as long as the core, as long as you feel contentment towards a belief, I think that's the truth for me.
You spoke something about mysticism and something, that portion. Could you just restate?
I was trying to give an example how a certain truth is defined differently by different experts. Like how
Right.
mystics, people who believe in mysticism, they like to define truth of this example which I gave by calling it science. These are certain science which you not understand, but they are manifested by the different reality, different dimension. And psychologists like to define this phenomena by calling it concentrated focus. And skeptics, they call it just a coincidence, a mere coincidence. So trying to give an example just to say that how truth is certain. It's defined by different people in different way, but doesn't mean that none of them are not true.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Question number 4. What does it mean to be whole or integrated? Shreeshyshi.
Thank you, sister. Good evening to one and all present here. So the question is, what does it mean to be whole or integrated? The word whole means complete, something that is entire, something that is unbroken, sampurnata. Whereas the word integrated, it means it emphasizes more upon something that has been combined to make a whole. So khand ko sampurnata mein dekhna. I take a reference from Ishopnishad. It describes a whole as Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate, which means that this is full, that is full. This fullness came from that fullness. And though this fullness came from that fullness, still that fullness remains full. What does it mean? It basically means that truth, the absolute truth, something that is constant, satyam, something that is unchangeable. It is like, for example, it is like water. You boil the water, it turns into steam. You freeze it, it turns into ice. But the constraint remains the same. It is constant, it is the basic element, and it will always be there. So what I feel will make us full, will make us whole, is that when we follow the path of the mystic trinity, Satyam, Shivam, and Sundaram, that will make us whole. Because the Almighty, the Brahman, the path that He has manifested for all of us is the path of truth. And the path of truth, as has been explained by Lao Tzu in Tao Te Ching, he says that bend and you will be whole, curl and you will be straight, keep empty and you will be filled. So when we are empty of calm, that is the desires that our body holds, and we get to know about a true self, about a true consciousness, about who we are in reality, when we come to know about our cosmic self, that this cosmic self that dwells within us dwells similarly in every being on this planet, that is when we come to know about the absolute one or the Brahman. And that is when we will feel integrated. Now, I would like to give an example here, sister, that there is a very famous quote. We are all made up of stardust, it says. What is this? It means that we are fragments of the universe and we are in pursuit of feeling one with it. So, this pursuit of feeling one will only come to an end when the differentiation between us and the universe, that is the garb of ego, the veil of ego that has divided us, when that falls down, when that disappears, when we find out who we are, and when we accept it. So, accepting the absolute truth will lead us to becoming whole and integrated. Thank you.
Thank you. You made a very interesting observation on the ego. We'll come back to it in a while.
Sure.
I have a question for Smita. What is it to be sensitive?
Thank you, sister. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. And good evening, everyone. So let's start with physical. We all are very much sensitive about our physical comfort. Well, that is not bad, but are we sensitive enough to understand or analyze that whether our comfort is causing discomfort to others? Let's take one example. Like yesterday, when I was traveling in train, so I just kept one backpack. But I saw so many people, they have carried so much luggage that they are causing discomfort to others, even me. And see, we are sensitive about our physical comfort, but we should sensitive about others' comfort also. So rather than thinking about our comfort, we must be sensitive towards others. Not causing discomfort to others. So now comes to astral and mental. So many a times we get affected by the actions done to us, the negativity done to us, the negative words said to us, and in our mind, the thought runs repeatedly and continuously. We get hurt emotionally, we feel depressed. Why does this happen? Because we are sensitive, right? But is it worth it? Rather being sensitive towards my feeling, my emotion, my pain, my suffering, my misery, we must be sensitive towards the misery and suffering of the humanity. We need to understand how a negative thought can affect others. So being sensitive about it means not to contribute any kind of suffering and misery. So be sensitive and send positivity, and above all, care to eradicate the suffering. For me, this is suffering. This is sensitive. Thank you.
Smita, I would like to draw you to a fact that you are appreciative of something beautiful. Okay, something, there is a beautiful sunset. You are witness to it. Now, what happens to you when you are witness to it? You are witness to something of suffering, and you have a response to it. Now, if you're seeing something like a glorious sunset, there is no one around to disturb you. You are by yourself. What does it mean to you?
It's beauty actually. When I'm enjoying the situation, when I'm enjoying the sunrise or sunset, then I'm completely seeing the beauty and the goodness and how the sun gives its lights to everybody, and how it doesn't see any differentiation or any higher or lower, or anybody is superior, anybody inferior. It spreads its light to everyone. I'll see that thing, that beauty.
Thank you. Krishnamurti would often say, you look at affluence, you look at pleasure, you look at poverty, you look at filth, you look at squalor. Okay, and he say you be sensitive to it. Look at both. Don't discard one for the other, because life is giving you everything, opening to you depending upon where your environment is. So he would always draw this fact that just be aware, be sensitive to both. Okay, you don't have to condemn or appreciate one for the other. Both are there. Okay, so just thank you for this. And I would like Shreya, you are there, Shreya. You were talking about
Ma'am, hello. Ma'am, you're not audible.
hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yes, ma'am. You weren't audible before.
It's a power failure. Okay. Shrisha, a question for you. What do you mean by the ego principle?
Ma'am, I have not read about the ego principle, but I would like to, I've understood some things while I was reading about truth, beauty, and goodness, about ego, that I'd like to, tell you about. So I believe that ego is something that we denote ourselves to. I, me, myself, to the outer, external things, the things that we have, that we can see, the things that we are feeling right now, but are not true. We denote those things to our ego. Something that is only affected by the way people are treating us, or by the way we are being, as in the effect that the environment, that the surrounding has on us. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I had a power failure at my end. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So that is what I think, that in my, as in, what do you see yourself as? Your identity? Today, I see myself as Shreeshyshi. So I draw my ego from what I have in material today. But
Right.
this is not who I am. This is not what I will be. I will change my form. As soon as I take off this garb of becoming this person that I look alike, I will change myself and become something else. I may become a plant. I may become air. I may become soil. I'll become anything, but I'm not this. And so, ma'am, I think ego is something that will transform us if we are able to get, if you're able to see ourselves away from it. If I'm able to see myself away from who I am. So I think, ma'am, ahankar is a part of ego. The sort of desires that we hold, which come because of what we are today, our educational qualification, our way of understanding things, our knowledge, everything can give birth to ego, ma'am. That is what I have understood, ma'am.
Thank you, Shreya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else would like to add to what ego would mean to them? Would like anybody else like to add to it?
The ego comes when we are engaged in day-to-day jobs and start feeling that what is the result? I am the beneficiary. So that becomes the ego. So when you're in job, you say that this assignment is done by me. The organization is getting the benefit because of my effort. Because I'm a father, I am doing for my son. So when these things come, because of course I'm paying for his education, but I'm saying I am doing for his son. So that's ego.
Right. Right.
And this is what, but we fail to understand that this is all karma. This is all karma. And like Bhagavad Gita explains beautifully, Lord says to Arjuna that karma nivadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karm phalve bhuma. So I'm forgetting the last three words, that You have the right to do your duty, but you
Right.
don't have any right on the result.
Right.
But that does not mean that you should stop doing your duties. So neither you should say that you know, you have to do the job, but you should not start thinking that you are doing the job. It's a doer who's getting the things done from you. It's all scripted. And so it speaks about, you know, in our day-to-day life, how we need to change from sakam karma to nishkam karma when you're doing the job, leaving the gratitude, the fruits to the provider. So this is one that what Shreeshyshi sister was saying, that knowing who you are. Actually, if you know that we are a soul, and so when you know who you are, you're not this material body, you're something beyond that. So then you start, you know, getting rid of false ego or ego.
Anyone else? What does this ego do to ourselves? It makes us feel very small and narrow, and we become very restricted in our consciousness. When you see a sunset, we become a little wider in our horizon. But when we operate from our ego, everything is constricted. Okay. We move to the thank you. We move to the next aphorism. It is not a question or anything. It's just a statement taken from theosophical books. It is for Aditya. Every beautiful thing is a window through which we can look into the ever-present reality. Your comments, please.
Okay, so first up, I'd like to rephrase this a bit. When we say every beautiful thing, I would like to replace it by everything, because like I explained earlier, because everything is beautiful in the sense, but we need to find that hidden beauty ourselves. So in everything, if you want to find beauty, I think the biggest impediment that we have in our daily lives is our thought or memory. Because let's say if I pass through a thing which I find really beautiful, let's say I find an art on the street that I pass by every day. When I passed by it the first day, I found it really beautiful. But when I pass through it the second day or the third day, it sort of becomes a commonplace, like I said earlier. So this memory sort of becomes an impediment into seeing the reality of that thing. So what I think about this is that window that we have to look into the ever-present reality that lies between when we perceive something and when we have a thought and we start relating it to the other things. So I think that's where that window lies.
Yes. Thank you, Aditya. To Brother Deepak, you are infinitely beautiful when you give without one single thought of asking or taking. Your comments, please.
And can you please repeat?
You are infinitely beautiful when you give without one single thought of asking or taking. You're giving completely.
So when you're completely beautiful, I'm sorry, I want to absorb the question again.
It's not a question, it's a statement. It's a statement from a book. You are infinitely beautiful when you give without one single thought of asking or taking.
So it's something like, I will compare it to the material modes of nature. Like we say, there are three modes of nature when we are doing we do under the influence of nature, which is like Sato Gun, Rajo Gun, and Tamo Gun. The philosophy says that we are doing all our jobs we do. We are studying or whatever we're doing in life, we are doing under the influence of three karmas, dharmas: Sato Gun, Rajo Gun, and Tamo Gun. Sato being you are in the influence of right knowledge. Then Rajogun means you're doing with passion, something which is more of material nature, which is not real knowledge, and tamu, which is something which is under the influence of ignorance. So it's totally opposite of what's the word. So one is, and each and every individual, somebody has one point of the day, 60% sato, 20% rajo, and 20% sometime when we are engaged in wrongdoing, maybe 90% tamoguna. So its balance is 100% keep on going towards 24/7, whether it's sleeping in the subconscious mind, we keep on doing all these kind of stuff, whether sleeping or awake. So you said when we have, again, I request you again, repeat that line, forwarding that line, that when you said without a single thought of giving, asking or giving, something like that. So we are in that neutral stage.
Or taking.
Asking or taking.
Yes.
So I think if we rise above all these, so which is called gunatit, when you are above all three, which is the actual real eternal nature, the nature of Lord. So I mean, that is difficult to attain, but if that happens, that's the real bliss, and the whole purpose is joining theosophy or any religion which I'm engaged right now, is to actually come above all these three things and enjoy the real bliss and happiness. So if that thought start coming, that I think then I'll be in real connect with the nature, with the real cosmos. This is all I think.
Thank you. The next is, when the idea is beautiful in truth, the expression of the gesture will also be beautiful. Nirmesh, I can see you.
It's a very famous saying, and I would like to answer this by being as practical as I can, which can be applied in, the practical today's life, because again the definition of truth, beauty, and goodness has been changing over the centuries.
I think your voice is a little bit on the lower side, Nirmesh. If you can a bit louder.
Sure. Is it better now?
Yeah, better.
Yes.
Okay. So as I was saying that maybe I'll try to answer this in a more practical way, so it can be applied in everyday life, in our life, because the truth, beauty, and goodness has been changing over the centuries, the definition. So I think what I understood by this line is, everything I think boils down to the point that you have to know yourself. It's the beauty and the truth is about finding yourself instead of seeking it outside. It's all looking inwards instead outside. Once you know yourself, you're automatically your baggages, which may come from your cognitive dissonance, your cognitive biases, or your beliefs, certain beliefs which are imparted by your upbringing or your society. When you look inwards, when you find who you really are, automatically the baggage they start getting sidelined. Then becomes you get your clear path. And I think a lot of religion, a lot of faith, they define this entire process in different ways. Some religion believes in nirvana, some believes in afterlife, some believes in the concept of heaven and hell. But I think all of them are one point they all agree is it's the importance of karma. So everything boils down to that. And there's also a very famous quote, which I'm forgetting the quote, but the meaning of it is that there are two ways one person can reach that enlightenment. One way is through bhakti and karma, and second is gyan and karma. And people who go bhakti and karma, they like to abandon themselves from everything which is responsible to the society, to the civilization. They entirely get into bhakti, but the karma is extremely important. Second is gyan and karma. Karma is again common here. So people like me who don't have enough time in a daily life to focus that much on bhakti. So ultimate, the way I can find myself and look into myself and find that enlightenment, the lightness, is through gyan karma. Know as much as I can. And when I talk about gyan, it's not necessarily maybe books or knowing about the religion. It's just knowing about myself. What is my purpose? Where am I in life? And what I am going to do? What I understood by this belief, the belief which I grew up with, is that true? Is that something which I associate myself? So knowing myself is the most important. And what I understand this by saying is once you know more and more about yourself, life becomes easier and lighter to live. And that's the ultimate beauty, rather than refining it tangibly. Thank you.
Thank you. Shreeshyshi.
Shreeshyshi.
Shreeshyshi. Thank you.
Yes.
when we look at something that has an extraordinary beauty, it stands out and arrests interest. Your comments, please.
So, ma'am, beauty or Sundaram, it may be described as a passage that is out of limitations of individuality, as in we are not bound by our conditioned mind, by what we have learned up till now. That is not what beauty is. No. Beauty is freedom. Beauty is love. It is the sense that is beyond all sense organs. It is from within. It is not something that can lure us, not something that is perishable. So beauty cannot be described or defined because you need to experience the ras in beauty. What I have read a lot about it. So what I have read is that there are essentials of understanding what beauty is, the elements of beauty. So there is order, there is harmony, there is rhythm, balance, proportion, and symmetry. And the universe in itself has all of these. So I'd say the universe is the most beautiful manifestation of the Almighty. The Christian scriptures, they define beauty as blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God, God, who is the absolute beauty. So if God is the absolute beauty, all of his manifestation, that is the universe, is the absolute beauty. So God, the absolute one, because he dwells in each of the substance, in each substratum, he manifests beauty in everything. Ma'am, Ruskin Bond defines beauty as if we can perceive beauty in everything of God's doing, we may say that we have reached the true perception of universal laws. So all the universal laws, because they are in a mathematical symmetry, they are in proportion, they are in balance, it is beauty. So when we look at something and it stands out and arrests our interest, when it is extraordinarily beautiful, it is because our perception about it is beautiful. So if we from within are beautiful, we look at something and that thing for us becomes beautiful automatically. We do not have to feel something. We do not have to add something external out of it. And ma'am, what I believe is that beautiful, something that is beautiful for one person will differ for another. Like Brother Aditya said right now about it. It keeps differing. And the whole feeling, it changes. But true beauty is unchangeable. True beauty is blissful. It is auspicious. It is permanent. And it is an aspect of reality, of one reality, that is God. So when we base everything upon absolute truth, upon absolute God, only then can we understand what true beauty is. And ma'am, I think that when we are viewing something from within ourselves, when we are inward looking, when we're looking inwards and experiencing outwards, that is when we will be able to experience what true beauty really is. Therefore, of course, it has been rightly said that beauty is in the eyes of beholder, but true beauty does not come from the eye. It comes from the inner eye. Thank you.
It reminds me of inner eye, which is they flash upon the inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, poem by some famous poet. Thank you.
Yes.
Well
Thank
said.
you.
And the next one is, it goes to Smita. Yes, you are there. Yeah. He who desires to find the truth must first confront himself as he is and be prepared to step out of that mold, which is the creation of the past. Yeah, is it clear to you?
Yeah, clear.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. We are living in our own world with a protective boundary or shell around us, which keeps us safe and secure from the outside world, as we think. Similarly, all the people around us, they have their own boundaries and shells they have created. You can say that protective shell formed by their own belief systems, superstitions, and values of life. We hold the ideas from our past experiences and live with it and judge people by their actions and feel insecure. If suppose we say like, I'm very nice, I'm very good, I'm doing good to others, but the society is not good, it's not worth for my goodness, or like, so anything happened with me in the past, we judge others and our future accordingly. So but We cannot realize the truth until and unless we break the boundaries created around us. We need to understand that these shells are not protecting us, but they separate us from each other and keeps us from realizing the truth about ourselves, the truth about unity of life. And to realize it, we need to have love, compassion, and for that, we need to realize that we are connected with each other, not separate from each other. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Smita. The next aphorism is for Brother Aditya. True innocence is a quality which nothing can stain or spoil in any manner. It develops with great maturity of understanding.
Okay, so what I think about true innocence uh, is something which is sort of like an unconditioned mind. That particular person does not respond to one thing in a certain way and to the other thing in a different way. Like he's very equal to both of these things. So an unconditioned mind would be a mind which treats everyone equally. And so when, let's say, a situation comes when he has to act in a certain way, he would not choose that particular way which is beneficial just for him or her. That person would act in a way that is beneficial for everyone else in a totally unconditioned and unselfish way. That's what I think of like true innocence. And that can only develop with a great maturity of understanding, like you said, because that level of unselfishness is not, it's not something that I don't think that most of people like have that sort of unselfishness within us, because it needs to come with lots of practice, and we sort of need that strength to be built up over time, and it's not something which can come like suddenly. So that's why it comes with maturity, with understanding, and all of those things.
Thank you. To Brother Deepak, next aphorism is, it is the truth to which one comes by himself, which really transforms his life.
It is the truth
To which one comes by himself, which really transforms his life.
Please come again, madam. I'm sorry, there's some break noise. It's a truth which
It is a truth to which one comes by himself, which really transforms his life. When a person arrives at truth by himself, it has got the power to transform his life.
yeah, of course, there's something called truth, then there's something called absolute truth. So truth can be relative, but absolute truth, like you know about the Lord, the qualities of Lord, the three essential qualities of Lord. When you know about that, then you try to inculcate. When you see like eternal qualities of Lord, like Sat Chita Anand, something which is eternal, something which is knowledgeable and beyond, something which is happiness and bliss. So when you know about all these things, and when you know this, then you're definitely going to transform your life. Not necessarily in this incarnation, maybe after the next incarnation or next incarnation. So some point of time, maybe it's well said that in some scripture that after thousand and thousand of births and are doing routine jobs, one starts getting the kripa, and he starts coming to religion and start thinking of such stuff, and then he may get kripa, and then he may start practicing philosophy or religion, and that's what where you start transforming this. So transformation has to happen, because what we are, we come where we have come from, and we may be taking millions of lives and deaths in this, again, in reincarnation. Some point of time we have to realize that where we have come from. So when this truth enters us, I don't know, it has entered after hundreds of reincarnations. But when this truth hits you, then the transformation starts. So this is called prayas and shreyas in bhakti, that whatever we do in this life is all about material. It's prayas, which nothing goes with us. But what is shreyas is like karma, which goes over. That's a real truth. So when you hit that truth, then the life transformation starts. And this is something which nobody can actually push. You know, you can take a horse to the river, but the horse may or may not drink the water. So some person like my wife or my father may be trying 100 times to, you know, take me into spirituality, but maybe I'm not adopting it. It has to happen by certain kripa or some past karma. So when this truth encounters your life, you transform begins. This is my practical feeling, or which I have observed in my last couple of years, how it started changing. In fact, changing, I can say, transformation is a big word. Changing, I can say, changing 1%. Even I change 1% a bit, a huge thing. Transformation, maybe I don't know how many reincarnations. I need the blessings of some Lord or some guru, so that, you know, I am on a fast track. Instead of a rope, I'm taking which I learned in the last class, that instead of taking a rope, you're from ground floor to 16th floor. Instead of taking a rope by stairs, you can take a lift. So that blessings are still needed.
You would like to bring in, you are in the corporate world. Would you like to bring some example from there to how this conflict or whatever can be resolved when you are face to face a truth in the real world, in real time?
See, in corporate world, the biggest thing we encounter is many youngsters are there. I don't know how many are doing job and how many years in job, but as you grow up the ladder, so at the bottom, I think more issue is the grapevines. So people should not engage in grapevines. And each and individual human being, I say, is whole, complete, and perfect, all three dimensions, because you're actually a soul. But the biggest barrier is communication, the way you express yourself. The reason there's a conflict is that we as two adults, we are not able to discuss as parent and, you know, discuss and communicate freely, share, express. And I mean, it's relative. In a corporate world, it's relative. And in corporate world, we don't talk about absolute truth. It's all relative truth. I am doing this way, you are doing this way. So his way we can be right. This point of view, my point of view can be right. But so the point is that, one, there's a consensus. Second, the conflict can be resolved when you have a good, effective communication. And communication, the base is that there has to be self-awareness. Again, it comes back to spirituality. No, in corporate world, we call it emotional intelligence. There's some big author, I think Daniel Goleman, who wrote a book long time back about emotional intelligence. One of the toughest book I have read in the last 10 years. But the essence of that book is the 5 fundamental pillars. First is self-awareness. And what spirituality or theosophy says, that you should be aware, not about just your own self, but about other way of thinking. So even we implement the first apostle of emotional intelligence, which is in sync with what we definitely practice in religion, is communication or awareness. Conflicts can be resolved. But again, then there's multiple layers, you know, ego and all that. So everybody can't think your way. But at the end of the day, right communication, and you need to practice it so that other person starts understanding your point of view.
Right. When both of you are able to be in the same frequency, then there's something called the harmony which comes into play and which tries to solve the issues. So what is the role of harmony between two individuals in this case?
So this is, I think, I will take from Henry Ford. You know, when he was inquired long time back that you are only his 10th pass out in 1920s, he built a first Model T, which was like successful for the next 40, 50 years. How did you build it? You're not engineer, not something like that. He said, I have ideas, and I'm thankful that I have a team which think like me. They believe in me. So this is when your team thinks like you. So then that's your mind is not working, it's the cosmic mind is working. And when the cosmic mind works, there's a complete harmony. When you're the same frequency, then you don't get the results. Then you don't get the results like what you say. Then 1 + 1 is not 2, 1 + 1 becomes 11. I'm not getting the right word for that. Then you get multiple incremental words when you're in harmony, complete sync with the team. And this is what happens So when you're in harmony, with sync with the cosmic word in spirituality, I think that that harmony takes you multiple letters.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. The productivity goes up manifold. Thank you.
Yes.
The next is
Can
thank
I
you.
add something to the previous question?
Who is it? Yes. Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah, so initially you asked the question that it is a truth which one comes by himself, which transforms his life. So,
A little louder, please.
so initially you said it is the truth which one comes by himself, which
Yes,
transforms his life.
confronts. Yes. Yes.
So about this, what I think about this statement is we should not believe in someone else's truth. We should try to find our own truth. That's the only way we can find the truth, because like what we see is people usually believe in whatever the other person is saying. That's what most of the religion nowadays is, although the true religion
Yes.
is not that. So what I relate from that is that we should find our own truth, find our own path. That's the way we are going to find it.
Thank you.
I think I'll just add
And
one
that-
thing, small thing. I think I will add just, I think you were stating your point.
Yes.
So I'll just add one thing. Sometimes it's very difficult to find your own
Yes,
self.
yes.
For example, I'm finding it for the last 20 years, that question, answer.
Yes.
I believe that you need to find the right philosophy, right guru. So, your spiritual boss, if you get him, he will have all the answers for you, because he has also already gone through that path. So for me, if I need to take that path for 20 long years and then I find my self-growth. So I'm okay with you. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I have a small thing that if I'm able to find the right boss, right philosophy, right religion, right guru, in fact, then he'll do all the thing for me. Only thing I have to surrender to.
You have a search within you. So if you keep at it, the path will be clear.
Yes.
When you really struggle, I must have the answer by tomorrow, it becomes a problematic thing. Okay, but when you are able to, okay, I have the search in me, I don't want to let go of this search. It is tearing me apart. It is there, burning me deep within. Okay, and as long as I have this pursuit of self-inquiry within me, okay, there is hope that today or tomorrow sometime, the path for you will be shown.
Yes.
That's how I feel to it. And coming back to Brother Aditya's, we have each one our truths. I mean, it reminded me that, when we have a problem, very in a simple matter, we feel our truth is the only truth. Okay. And we have a problem when feel that other person is lying. So we go on to go and correct the other person, which becomes a problem by itself. Okay, we feel our truth is not only right, it's very unique. Therefore, the other person should also be the way it is for us, it is for me. So we need to have that elbow space, that compassion, that empathy, that each man can give him time and space to find his truth or come to his own truth. So this kind of an empathy can pave the way for harmony between people. Okay, otherwise many words are thrown, fling at people. Okay, you are rude sometimes, you are kind sometimes, you are like a toss between this to that side of the pendulum. So when you are in harmony and when you are centered within, then you are able to be aware of your own truth and give that space to the other person who's holding his truth. When
I agree. Yeah.
Thank you. And the next one is to Sister Shreeshyshi, to you. In ancient Greek thought, truth, goodness, and beauty were a trinity of values which together imparted to life the highest perfections it can possess. Your comments, please.
Ma'am, just a second, ma'am. Just a second, ma'am. There is some yeah. So am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am, can I please listen to the question once again?
In ancient Greek, okay, you have in our own thing, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. In the ancient Greek thought, truth, goodness, and beauty were a trinity of values which together imparted to life the highest perfections it can possess.
Okay, ma'am. So truth, beauty, and goodness. Ma'am, in ancient life,
Sorry that I had marked the question to Brother Nirmesh. So if you are ready with it, you can answer, or you can try to answer it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Ma'am, let him answer it. I prepared
Well,
something
sir.
else, but I was ready to answer if you would have given me the chance.
Fine.
I'd answer as a comment.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'd
Fine,
answer
fine.
as a comment.
Yeah.
Ask Brother Nirmesh to continue, please. Thank you.
Yes, yes, please. Yes.
Yeah, sure. So what I understand by this line is, I mean, this again, the definition of truth, beauty, and goodness have been changing over the years, right? And in the Greek philosophy, what was said by Plato, Aristotle, and Socrates, I think it all boils down to one truth, which is that this is the ultimate form of self-actualization and the ultimate reality. And it's what aspect can lead us towards that is only love. I think love is the only thing which can help us achieve that ultimate reality combined of truth, beauty, and goodness. And what I think Deepak sir was talking about his corporate experience is very important. It fits right here. I think by knowing yourself is very difficult. I mean, it may take years. Some people take even 20, 30 years, 40 years to know about themselves. And even not even then, you maybe not able to know yourself even by the time you die. So, but it's also very important to know other people's truth. But we have to be on the path, and sometimes help us to the path to make it fast track. That's when the importance of guru comes in. So I think when you have somebody who can help you through the path, who have been through the same life, and you know that path is benefiting you, then you automatically become humble. And when you become humble, you're open to other people's opinions, other people's beliefs, other people's truth also. And what happens is then forms ultimate harmony, ultimate love, and that is the ultimate reality. So I think by what ancient times were defined for uh, truth, goodness, and beauty, it all comes down to the one fact of, I think, knowing oneself. That's my understanding.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramesh. So Shreeshyshi, you can add in on this.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to, not about the Greek thought, of course, but I like to say that even in the Indian thought, ma'am, there was a concept of rit, which meant
Concept
that
of?
there, rit, as in what all moral values we hold within ourselves. So this concept, it came down, even if you read all the other philosophies, if you read Mesopotamian, if you read Sumerian, if you read Aztec, if you read Assyrian, if you read Chinese, if you read Indian, all of these philosophies have been based on this thought only. And then I think that the mystic trinity of truth, goodness, and beauty, it does not only come from, of course, Brother Nirmesh has explained it beautifully, that it does come from absolute knowing oneself, but you will only know yourself when you know what is happening within you, the sort of feelings that you are feeling, what is true, why is it happening? Why today am I feeling that I'm very happy? Why today am I feeling that I'm sad? What is around me that is affecting me? If all these things are, if we are able to read between the lines, then we can know our true self. And only then can we know what truth is. And truth is bound to beauty, and beauty is bound to goodness. Goodness, basically righteousness, walking on the right path, walking like Deepak ji said about sin, not doing something that is wrong, something that has been there, something that will always be there. Thank you.
Thank you. The next is again to you. Life becomes beautiful when lived with a knowledge of its deep purpose and significance, as manifested in all living things.
So, ma'am, the universe is the manifestation of the absolute one. And each one of us, each atom in each substance, the Almighty presides. It has been rightly said by Ibn Arabi that God sleeps in the rock, dreams in the plant, stirs in the animal, and awakens in the man. The good, the evil, the beautiful, the ugly. It is all our perception. It is everything here, everything that is present. It is present at the same level. There is no difference. The difference is what we see. So everything that is happening around us has a purpose. And Confucius has rightly said that everything has beauty, but not everyone can see it. For example, the extinction of the dodo bird. Everyone must have heard of it. The dodo bird was found in Mauritius, and it got extinct in the 17th century. And it led to the extinction and endangerment of many other species, including the very famous hardwood trees in Mauritius. So everything had a purpose. We humans do not understand it, but everything has a purpose. Therefore, we can say that the universe has put everything in a particular place. All we have to do is we have to awaken ourselves that, okay, this is happening. This is happening for a reason, and we must let it happen the way it is happening. What is known to us is that each matter comprises of atom. And in every substance, there is a subconscious, a chetna, which is asleep in the non-living, which is awakened in the living, specifically in humans. So like Kala Chakra is the truth. Similarly, evolution is the truth. Evolution is taking place, and it is taking place in every being, no matter how big, how small. So our existence is to understand this purpose, which will be known to us if we walk the path of the Trinity, the truth, the goodness, and the beauty around us. Everything around us has a purpose attached to it. It is there till the purpose is served, and as soon as the purpose is served, it perishes. Therefore, everything around us should be perceived as the divine beauty, the beauty that has been given to us by God. And ma'am, I would also like to say that it has been very rightly said by Albert Einstein, our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circles of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. So my understanding of this question is that everything around us is beautiful and everything has a purpose. So as soon as we understand what our purpose is, we will know the purpose of everything else. And that is how life will become beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing in the all forms of matter, the plants, the animal, and the human kingdom.
Thank you.
Theosophy encompasses everything. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
The last one, the last aphorism is to Sister Smita. Grow as a flower grows, unconsciously, but open to all that is good and beautiful.
Okay. So grow as the flower grows. Okay, let's understand this like this. Flower grows unconsciously towards sunlight. Means when sunlight touches the blossom, it becomes a flower. Same as that, goodness and beauty are the sunlight. When we can see the goodness in others, when we can see the beauty in each and every being and everything, then we can realize the truth. And that's when we grow. Or you can say, we unfold our true selves, true nature, divine qualities, and then we grow. Our consciousness grows. Thank you.
I would like, Susmita,
Yeah.
why is it, just dwell upon this. Why does it say grow unconsciously vis-a-vis when you are aware that you are good and beautiful? Suppose you are going to live with this thought that, well, I am beautiful, I am good. So how will you compare this with this thought, grow as a flower grows? Just for a deliberation.
Yeah. One thing I'll tell you, that grow as a flower grows unconsciously. You know?
Yes.
If we aware, if we know that what is the goodness inside me, then that is, that is not growing. That is not growth. As like, I'll quote one sentence like, the virtue is not a virtue if you're aware of.
Yes.
So, so if that you know that you are good, if people say that, okay, you have this quality, then that's good, you accept it. But if you say that, yeah, I'm unselfish, I'm a very generous person, then there comes the ego, and
Yes.
that is not the goodness. And that is not the beauty. Thank you.
Thank you. I think anybody else would like to add anything to this? Brother Nirmesh or Aditya? Anyone? Would you like? Yes, please.
It's just a question which I find I ask myself often, and I struggle to answer myself for this from time to time, because a lot of things aspect this question. So I just want to keep it here. Maybe if somebody can answer this, or if my co-panelists can answer this. It's when we say that we have to look for beauty in everything, and that will make us peaceful and contentment. That would also mean that we look for beauty in chaos. And sometimes when we try to look for beauty in chaos, it makes us perplexed, it makes us confused, it makes us grow anxious also. uh, I mean, how important it is to look for beauty in chaos. And if not, if we can't find beauty in chaos, that basically defines that we can't find beauty in death, because that's the ultimate truth. So how do we find the balance between finding beauty in chaos, in the things which are not maybe necessarily good, or not necessarily divine? That's number
Right.
one. And
Yeah.
one another question I had was, I know, like what Deepak just said, it's important to find that guru who can fast track your journey and finding yourself. How do you find a guru? I mean, what is the how you can find somebody who's, because sometimes when you believe in somebody, not necessarily they may lead you to that path. It sometimes become complex journey.
Yeah.
So is there a way you can, is there a methodology to this entire thing you can find a guru? These two things I had.
Will any of the panelists like to chip in, please?
Ma'am, I would
Yeah.
like to answer the first part of the question.
Chaos. Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chaos. When brother was defining what chaos is,
Yes.
what is chaos? Chaos is something that we do not want that should take place. Chaos is anything that is against our will. But isn't our will grounded in ego? Isn't that a part of what our ego is? So if we are looking outside our ego, if we are not keeping ourselves in the barrier of ahankar, will that not help us overlook everything that is chaotic? Because chaos is within. Chaos is something that is not going according to our plan. We have planned something. My plan is that I'm going to get up tomorrow and act in a certain manner. Now, when that certain manner does not happen, I'm perplexed. But
Yes.
I am perplexed because that was my plan. That was not the plan of the Almighty. That was not the plan of the universe. If I look at it as something that is not my plan, okay, my life is not my plan. It has been planned for me already. I will live the way I want to live it, but I will not harm anything else. I will not decide that this is how I'm going to behave. This is how, or nobody is going to decide it for me either. I'm going to do it because I want to live it. I want to live my life. I do not want to breathe just for the sake of breathing. So, brother, I would like to tell you that chaos is in itself beauty when you look at it outside of your being. If you look at it within the circle, if you are looking at it as the first person, as the second person, of course, it will perplex you. If you're looking at it as a third person, as somebody who's out of the circle, you will find it beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreeshyshi. Anybody else would like to add? Yes, please, Brother Deepak.
Thanks, Brother Nirmesh. I think your both questions are very, very prudent and practical. So question number one, well answered by Sister Shreeshyshi. And still, I'd like to add one thing, like chaos. She well defined, like it's within. We think actually that this is because of others. Suppose if you know, it is about this, not about the situation, it is about our own self. For example, if I ask you to lock you inside a room for 3 days and there's no one in your home, no one in your room is completely darkened or lightened, and whatever you want to do, you can do. After 3 days, 5 days, if you're not happy, then it means nobody was there to disturb you. So then why you're feeling chaotic? So it's all within. It's a simple example I'm quoting, but it's very, very difficult, very, very difficult, very difficult. So that's what you were also telling about something about bhakti. That's what the essence we should be in, you know, bhakti or some philosophy. so that we should have right thoughts and we are enlightened, and we should know how to have our life lived happily and merrily. And second question you asked about how to choose the guru. I mean, Sister Priya is there, I think, and very, very senior people are there. So, I mean, they are the best one to reply, but within my limited knowledge, and they can always correct me. I have very limited knowledge, but all the knowledge I can give you is that, yes, it is a scientific process to choose your guru. Scientific process. So guru, there are many gurus right now, as we have seen in the last 5-10 years, many gurus who were self-styled gurus and now they are in jail. So that means, and they had millions of followers. So now people say, no, that I don't want to take name like Asaram and all that. So people, there are millions and millions of followers.
Yes.
And they have taken them as a guru. And currently also many gurus are there. So one thing which I've learned is that guru should give the knowledge from the guru parampara. You know, from the guru parampara. He should also have a guru. You should see what were his 3 gurus.
Right.
If I say in Hindi, aapka guru, uska guru, at least you should check. One should check. Where is the lineage coming from? If the lineage is not there, so scientifically you can reject. There's no point. Let's fight 20 years to get a right sect, right philosophy, right religion, right guru. But never to join a wrong guru, because wrong guru is like a, patthar. He will sink and he will make you sink also.
Right.
And the right guru will, take you out of this thing. So one thing is scientific is that he should, like if you talk about theosophy also, and I'm telling you, I'm just 2 months, less than 2 months old, 2 months young, I can say, when I've started. I think this is my 7th or 8th session, which I've listened on every Sunday. So I started to learn about, there were 2 sessions on Madam Blavatsky. And there were thoughts about any basin. And also I was about to read about Mr. Leadbetter. So any Besant, of course, I have, read a lot. Live after that, I read almost like 15 years back.
Right.
When you read those and that thoughts which are coming, these powerful thoughts are actually because of these powerful leaders who are actually in sync with the cosmic connect. They have the power to drive a sect. An individual person who is so styled guru, they don't have the power. So one, I said, the guru should have right knowledge, one, and he should have a lineage. Okay. 2 things I practice. He should have a lineage. So whatever he's teaching should come not from himself. It's not be his philosophy. It should be his senior philosophy, his senior philosophy, his senior philosophy, his senior philosophy, which has been tested through the times.
I think Bones answered it very well, and it's you put it right way. Also, it's important to know what school of thought they belong to and whom they learned the school of thought from. And
Brother, I would like to add something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I completely agree with all the point of views that have been put upon guru. But I think there is no great teacher as life is. We get pain. We are experiencing, everybody is experiencing all sort of pain. There is heartbreak. There is somebody is working a lot, but is not getting promotions. Somebody is not able to qualify an exam. Somebody is studying hard, but there is all sort of pain in this world. And pain is the biggest teacher. If we look at something in a certain manner, if we look at pain in not as a way that, oh my God, I am in so much pain now, how will I be able to get out of it? No, I will get out of it, because this is how I have been bred. I have learned this in this life. So I think, brother, that guru is there. Yes, there has to be a guru. There has to be lineage, and you must choose somebody. But that person can guide you to a way where you will not be feeling pain or happiness, where you will be, where you will have a sambhav to everything around you. But I think the real teacher is our life ourselves. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
Can I add something? Actually, Brother
please.
Nimesh, for your first question, actually, second question I couldn't understand. So, first question, I'll explain you through a small story. So, once one young man, uh, fell down from. I mean, when he was riding a horse, he just fell down and he broke his leg. And then he thought that I broke my leg and I can't do anything. This very bad thing happened to me, and he was very depressed. And then the next day, the country in from that country, some soldiers came and they were hiring. They are taking those young men for war. So, and they rejected that man because he has broken his leg. So after that, he understood that, okay, yesterday, when 2 days back, when I fell down from the horse, and I thought that this bad thing, such a bad thing happened to me, and I broke my leg. And then he realized that that happened for good. As Sister Shreya, she said that, look, everything, I mean, in goodness and positivity in chaos. And if you are facing any negative situation, still you feel that you accept it, and whatever happened is happened for good, and you just accept it, and you will see the beauty in it. So first thing is that, and second question I couldn't understand, so if you can repeat, then if I can, then I'll answer it.
I think we are a little running short of time.
Yeah, sure.
So I have, I can see that Brother Bhaskar Tendulkar. One second, please. I have Brother Bhaskar Tendulkar, Brother Ashok Lokande, and Professor Hiranandani are there. If they would like to throw some concluding remarks on this, or any other member of the audience would like to say something, please, because we need to close by 9. And we have about some 7-8 minutes left. So I would leave this floor open to the seniors who are here and anyone else. I'm not, I would know more. Yes, please.
I have
Yes,
only 30 seconds I'll take.
Who is this?
I'm Deepak.
Yes.
Only 30 seconds.
Yes.
There was a point which is taking that Guru is something with the life teaches with experience. But for example, in Ramayana, we study that there are brothers like Nal and Neel.
Yes.
So when the Rama was about, it was a big, this thing that you have to make a bridge over the ocean, Southern Ocean. So people are not knowing how to do that. And even Nal and Neel, who knew this bridge in their previous multiple incarnations.
Yes.
After someone told, maybe Jamvanta told, somebody told, and then Rama initiated them. And then they, from their past experiences, they knew the scientific how to make the bridge over the ocean. So sometimes it's about life experience, but still you need a guru to invoke those things. So you need a guru to invoke those things at the right point of time, initiation. So it's their insight, but I may be taking 100 incarnations. So that's the significance of a guru, that what you do in 100 incarnations, guru might do in this life. So this is all limited knowledge I have, nothing to confront.
Can I add something for 10 seconds? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so about the guru part, the second question, I think my dad has told me this sometime, or I think I've heard it somewhere else. But what I remember is he said, we should not go out looking for a guru. When we are ready for the guru, he will come to us himself. So we just need to prepare ourselves and need to just go on the path ourselves.
हेलो
हरिचंदनी कुछ बोलने वाला है.
हेलो आई एम लोखंडे स्पीकिंग.
Kindly make your video on.
हाँ आज का जो प्रोग्राम हुआ है, मुझे बड़ा आनंद हुआ कि आज की जो न्यू जनरेशन है वो रियल थियोसॉफी, जो कोर थियोसॉफी का है, इसेंस जो थियोसॉफी का है, उसके ऊपर उनकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग बहुत अच्छी है। ये देखकर बड़ा अच्छा लगा और आगे चलकर बाकी जो चीजें है वो समझकर ये आगे जाएंगे, ऐसी मैं शुभकामनाएं सबको देता हूँ। और आज का जो कार्यक्रम इंडियन सेक्शन ने अटेंड किया है, आपने ऑर्गेनाइज किया है, वो मैंने पूरा अटेंड किया, पहली बार यूथ का प्रोग्राम अटेंड किया और मुझे बड़ा आनंद हुआ कि थियोसॉफी का जो फ्यूचर है वो इतना मोर अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि वो एक लीक से हटकर सत्य की खोज में जुटा हुआ है। वो तुम्हारी बात ऐसा कहा है, उसने ऐसा कहा, ये नहीं मानते, उनकी अपनी समझ है और वो जो उन्होंने तरीका और जो मार्ग चुना है वो सचमुच अप्रिसिएबल है। मैं सबको धन्यवाद देता हूँ, शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ और आपके उज्जवल भविष्य की कामना करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Madam,
much.
hello, I am Anil Kumar Barua. I just want to add something regarding the guru concept. Actually, it was actually at one time it was probably Deepak ji told that who is the guru? Some lineage is to be there. But actually, guru is as far as I know, guru is a medium actually only. So guru is not a person. Guru is a medium. Anybody can be guru. And when that level actually that level of the disciple is actually has gone to that to the level of the guru, then he himself divert him to some other guru. So that is our Himalayan gurus also were doing actually. So but I just want to mention to find out the guru. My guru told that whenever you want to some lead about the guru, best thing is to go to samadhist gurus. There he will give you the guidance, give you the lead to your actual guru. And guru always again directs to where to go. The next guru actually he directs. That is my understanding. That's why I wanted to add only. And this standard of discussion is so high. So we feel that we are backdated, and it's really very interesting to take part in such a discussion. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think.
Nandani from USA.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Narendra.
Yes, please. Please continue.
Thank you very much. The panelists are very talented people, and more so the leader, Ms. Sripriya, and I have learned a lot. In the leader, we have a bright and star on the horizon of the TS and the public. Thank you very much.
Yes, I just want to ask the question of Nirmesh, how to search Guru.
Yes.
Of course, Aditya given what his father told him. Actually, don't search Guru. Guru is there. They are searching you. Deepak ji, Nirmesh, and in a particular way, we carry on our work. Be righteous, maintain purity, do your duty, selfless service, and don't search them. They are searching us. Suppose if we start one step towards them, they will run towards us. So don't search Guru in this mundane world, because you will find lot of problem here and there. So don't search those gurus. They are there. They are searching us, and they will find out. The moment, as Aditya told you, When you are ready, they will come before you. In which way will come, that is a different thing. And as Taralji also pointed out, Guru is within our heart. If you search it, and you will find it, but it will take time. The sooner is the better for you. Yes, Taralji will like to add something.
Yes.
Taralji, unmute
Sir,
kariye.
you're on mute.
Whatever I had written here, I was going to say the same thing with some example of null and nil, which I think Deepak ji quoted. Right Guru is truth, the truth of your experience of life. These teachings of experience are your collective Guru. They don't have a formation of a human being or something. And so life is good. So look for the Guru within you, not in others within. That's what I wanted to make. एंड नल एंड नील की कहानी कुछ ऐसी थी, मैं शायद हिंदी में कहूँगा कि एक ऋषि थे, शायद उनका नाम मुझे ठीक से याद हो, तो ऐसे कुछ था उनका नाम, लेकिन उनके पास एक विशेष पत्थर हुआ करते थे जिसे सालगमा पत्थर कहा जाता था, और वो पत्थर वो उसकी पूजा में और उसमें काम आते थे। तो वो जैसे ही नहा धो के वो वहाँ झाड़ के नीचे पत्थर पर वो पत्थर रखता था, दो बदमाश बंदर आके उसे फेंक देते थे वापस तालाब में। अब रोज इसको तालाब में से उसे ढूंढ के निकालना पड़ता था। तो बार बार जब ये हुआ तो उसने शाप दे दिया कि आज से तुम जो भी चीज फेंकोगे ना वो तैरेगी। तो हुआ क्या कि वो दोनों बंदर नल एंड नील थे, तो उन्हें तो मालूम नहीं है कि ये मुझे शाप दे दिया गया है। तो उसके बाद वो जब भी वो पत्थर फेंकते थे वो डूबते ही नहीं थे और वो ऋषि मुनि को मिल जाते। तो उसने कर्ज भी ऐसा दिया जो उसकी सुविधा अनुसार था, सामने वाले के हार्म करने वाला कर्ज नहीं था। तो जब ये प्रश्न आया, हनुमान और सब इकट्ठे हो गए कि भाई कैसे सेतु से पार करेंगे, तब रामचंद्र जी ने कहा कि तुम सब पत्थर लेके आओ, लेकिन पत्थर फेंकेंगे केवल नल और नील। तो वहां पर भी यही बात साबित हुई जो अभी प्रदीप जी ने बोली कि गुरु ने शिष्य को ढूंढा कि उसके पास एक कला है, वो शिष्य अभिज्ञ है कि उसकी कला कितना बड़ा काम कर रही है। तो जितने भी पत्थर आए वो सब पत्थर ये फेंकते थे और वो अपने आप तैरते थे कि वो ऋषि का शाप था जो पहले मिला। जो कहानी मुझे मालूम है मैंने शेयर की। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much. Enlightening, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I think we will come to the conclusion of this program. Thank you, Brother Aditya, Brother Deepak, Brother Nirmesh, Sister Smita, and Sister Shreeshyshi for your very earnest, enthusiastic, and positive outflow of energy. It was such a joyous experience, and thank you so much for making this happen.
Thank you, ma'am, for conducting this.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity, ma'am.
It's my pleasure.
Really, thanks to all of you for wonderful efforts. You're all enlightened us, right? Thank you so much.
श्रीप्रिया जी, आपने बहुत अच्छा मॉडरेट किया, आपका एंकरिंग बेहतरीन है। Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lokande ji. Thank you very much. And before I conclude, our homage to our founder, Madam H.P. Blavatsky. I will leave with you one quotation of hers. To know more about gurus, the life of J. Krishnamurti, the life of Leadbeater, and Dr. Annie Besant will give you answers for the questions you are having in your mind. And to conclude, I leave with you one quotation of what Madam Blavatsky had to say about truth. Madam Blavatsky has repeatedly said that he who would now know the truth must remove every preconception from his mind, and everything that he has learned through his education, through his parents, through his scriptures, through environment, he must remove all that and be prepared to learn a new alphabet on the lap of nature. This is what Madam Blavatsky has spoken about truth. So with these words, thank you very much. Namaste for this positive thoughts on this theme.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Over to Brother Pradeep Mahapatra.
Yes, thank you. Thank you to all the panelists. You have done the best thing ever I have seen. All have spoken very nicely. All the best. The future of Indian Section Theosophical Society is good, I think. Now I request Dr. Mansi, are you here? Kindly sing the closing prayer.
Yes, sir, I'm here. Sure, sir. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukh bhag bhave. Om Shanti, 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 Om. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for giving the opportunity.